about the Barton reading and spelling system, which is an Orton-Gillingham-influenced simultaneously multisensory explicit and systematic phonics program. This book happens to be Level 8 Advanced Vowel Teams. Okay, so first you have the table of contents. Then you have an overview about what you're going to teach in this book. And there's a pronunciation key, which can be very useful. And then you have a list or a chart to keep track of where your student is in the book. And then here's what you need for the first lesson in this upper box. And down below is the overview just for that lesson. And as you can see here, this is a dialogue of everything that you need to tell your student. And it does that at the very beginning for 2 pages or more. And here's a spelling rules page that will only make sense once you've taught the lesson. And now we're going on to the next part of the lesson, and then you get more spelling rules. And on this page you spell real words with tiles, and it tells you exactly how to do it. On some lessons you read nonsense words on tiles, and then you spell nonsense words with tiles. And then at the second half of the lesson you don't need the tiles anymore, and you read words like these. And also you spell words on paper, and here is where you keep track of the sight words that your student has learned how to read and spell. And this is a page with sight words. And next you spell, or it tells you how to do the sight words. This page has a list of phrases, and the kids decide whether it's a who phrase, did what phrase, where phrase, why phrase, when phrase, why phrase, or how phrase, and they write it on those blanks, and then they will create a 4-part sentence. And then they will spell sight words and phrases, and here they will read sentences using good phrasing techniques that they learned in previous levels. Next, they will spell sentences like Gloria broke her tibia in Bolivia. Okay, and then they read a story. There are 2 basic level and 2 advanced level stories. One of them they will tell you what the story was about. The other one they will read out loud to you after they've read it to themselves. And then there are 2 worksheets that are at the end of each lesson. Usually you do 1 example on each worksheet before you send it home. As you can tell, the teacher's book has yellow pages. Okay, and then here are my tiles. I got this cookie sheet at a dollar store. I wish I would have gotten a bigger one, but here's the alphabet. And if you see how I put the magnetic tape on the back, those cheap cookie sheets happen to be magnetic, so it's very useful. And I put the digraphs at the bottom. And up here we have the vowel teams, the unit tiles, and they're not in alphabetical order or anything. And here are the suffixes, which are green, and here are the prefixes, which are orange. And you can see that the vowels happen to be yellow. And for the notebooks, I get one where you can put a page in the front, and I also label it on the spine. That way I can select the correct notebook for the lesson I'm about to teach. And also I have the teacher tutor packet inside one of those. And that's here. Here's where you keep track of which part of the lesson they are in. I use a wet erase marker, and the student pages are a lot like the tutor pages, except for the fact that they are in blue. So here are those words that they need to read to you again, and there are the stories. I mean, basically everything that they need are there. And then I have pockets in my notebooks. In the front pocket I put the sight words that the student is working on right now, and then in the back pocket I put the sight words the student has already finished working on. And I often have to go back and review them because it's always good to review, so it's good to keep them handy. And here is a whiteboard that I use. On one side you can see that it has lines, on the other side it is blank. And my kids really like using this, and I don't have to worry about the erasers on a pencil not working or not finding a pencil, because we use a lot of pencils at my house. And it's really easy to with a dry erase eraser. As you can see here, this is what I've got. And also, one thing I forgot to mention while I was looking inside the book is I usually use a wet erase marker on the pages inside the book, so you can write on it, and then I could just get a cloth that's slightly damp and wipe it right off. And it makes it really easy to do any of the work that's inside the book. All right, so there, I'm done with the book. And I found this program to be very useful, and I find that since it's so valuable to me, that if I buy sheet protectors, it protects my product longer. And also, I usually buy them in 200 count packages, because I've probably used 2 or 3 boxes of these. And as you can see, I mean, look at how many are in just this one level. Some levels have more pages and others have fewer pages. So it's just a lot less tedious to buy a 200 count package as opposed to a 3 or 10 or even 25 count package. Plus, you're probably saving money for buying it in bulk. Anyway, I hope that you will pass on this information to your friends that may need it. And happy learning. Thank you for watching, and please leave a comment.